If you'd said to Theo from the end of May 2023 that just 2 and a bit years later he'd be video recording the 100th issue of his newsletter that he'd just started writing, after just having come back from a holiday in Italy, visiting the Dolomites and Venice and Padua with people that he'd met through creating content and being a presence on the internet, I don't think he'd have believed you. But here we are, and this issue, instead of kind of shedding light on the things that I've done over the last week, although I might still do that with the video clips that you see here, I thought I'd recap where we've come from and also where we're going, because my life's going to change quite a bit in the next week or so, and I want to tell you about it and what you can expect from Fundamentalised and myself going forwards. Now, Fundamentalised started mainly as a way to collect emails. Back when I was writing on Medium, I'd heard that the done thing was to capture email addresses of your readers so that in the future that you could contact them if you needed to. And now, these days, I know that that's really only suitable in a business sense, but back then I had no idea, and so I started collecting emails from my readers, and at the end of May 2023, as I said, I started sending them newsletter issues, and at that point it was just an extension of my article writing endeavours. You can read issue 1, which is about digital minimalism and how you can use it to accelerate your productivity, and now that was pretty much just an article written to send to my newsletter subscribers. But since then we've changed a lot, and as of perhaps the last year or so, the format of Fundamentalised has been quite similar in that I give you a lesson every week from the kind of stories and things that have been going on in my life, and then I give you one or two other things that I've noticed or I've been creating myself or I've explored or found, and since then that's pretty much how we've been running things. And of course, earlier this year, I took a little bit of a break from recording videos and writing newsletter issues to focus on university. But that, of course, is all done. I graduated a little bit more than a month ago. And now it's time to move forward into a new period of my life. And this, of course, lines up quite nicely, first of all, with the 100th issue of Fundamentalised, and of course means some updates on where we're going. And so that's what I want to give you in the rest of this issue. So for the past 100 issues, or 99 if you will, I've rather been penned into university life, so just sitting down and writing and then hitting the gym and then attending lectures and then revising again. And although I could have recorded and published all of this, it wouldn't have been particularly interesting. It would have been the same every single day, like wake up in the morning, oh, he's writing again, or maybe he goes to get coffee this time, but he's writing in the cafe, and then in the afternoon, oh, he's going to the gym, and he's lifting the same weights, doing the same movement. I mean, you probably know from the past issues that I've recorded that I place a lot of value on doing the same things over and over again and kind of compounding the benefits and the outcomes of a certain few things, so like training in the gym, lifting weights, or writing or publishing things online. And so over the last 3 years at uni, that's pretty much what I've been doing. But as you might have seen in one of the more recent issues of the newsletter, I am actually flying out to Thailand as of recording this and publishing this in exactly a week's time. And the goal is to live out there for as long as I can feasibly do so. I have a little bit of an online business talking about productivity and personal knowledge management, so note-taking for whether it's for research for university or research for work or to perform better in a professional sense or a personal sense. That's what I teach, and I've got a little bit of a business surrounding that. So, and of course it can be run on my computer, and so that's what I'm going to be taking east with me. I also shoot photos as well, which you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram or perhaps Twitter. I don't post the pictures there as much, but I'm also a photographer, and I've been picking up 1 or 2 freelance gigs since the start of the year, and so that's also something that hopefully I'll be able to do anywhere in the world so long as I can take my camera with me. But the point being, life, hopefully, will get a little bit more interesting from the perspective of someone who's perhaps watching. And now I can always spin up a piece of writing to talk about what I've been doing and what I've learned, but the plan now is to also move into recording videos. And so I did this weekly, kind of as I am now, sat down at my desk and speaking into a camera and then just publishing. But if I'm traveling and seeing and doing new things, hopefully I'll be able to capture some video clips from there and kind of incorporate them into more and more videos that I can share here on Fundamentalised, and that is the plan. So alongside these weekly written issues that you've been getting for the last 2 and a bit years, I'm going to be doing video issues and hopefully short essays that are outside of the issue format, because I've done a bit of thinking and some work segregating the kind of business writing that I do and the personal stuff that I do, almost personal branding if you will, for Fundamentalised and under my own name and for myself. And there's a lot of business writing and article writing and essay writing over here, but there's also sometimes essays that I like to write just for the sake of writing them and expressing the ideas that I have. And so on Fundamentalised, which will continue to be hosted on Substack and will be the central point for all of the content that I put out, you'll be able to read short essays that I've written and also watch these videos that I'm going to continue to upload. But the plan is more largely to document things and record things, whether that's adventures that I'm having out in the Far East, or whether it's kind of business progress or updates or improvements or things like that that I've made or I've built. I'm going to try and share a lot more of it. And so now's a good time to make sure that you've subscribed to Fundamentalised if you're watching this somewhere else, or now's a good time to perhaps follow my Instagram, where I'll post the photos that I've been taking and perhaps shorter form videos. I've not entirely decided yet. And maybe Twitter, where I'll post short outtakes and clips and ideas before taking them fully to an issue. But overall, Fundamentalised as a Substack will be the best place to keep up with everything that I'm doing. And bear with me in terms of editing these videos and putting them out, and also in terms of the quality of the pictures that I've recorded, because it's an iterative process. It'll take some work. But I've also got this camcorder that I have actually had for a very, very long time, but have very much just left in the cupboard up until now. But it's easy to carry around with me to record, and the audio is not too bad, but it's got personality, and you've probably seen clips that I've taken using it cut across the top of this video as I've been speaking, because this is probably what I'm going to shoot most of the rest of my stuff on going forwards, especially if it's like out in person actually doing things. But it's, like I said, an iterative process. I'm going to get better at recording these things and editing them in an entertaining way. I've got experience of editing general videos kind of as work, but this kind of vlogging, as if you wish, that I am going to start doing is something that's new to me. And like I said, I'll get better. It'll take practice, but I'll get better. But finally, I thought I'd just round things up and thank you, first and foremost, if you've watched any of the issues video or read any of the issues, text or emails or tweets or otherwise up until this point. It's been one hell of a ride, as my friend from Italy that I went to see and meet would have said. But yeah, it's going to get better, and life's going to become more adventurous and more interesting, and I'm going to learn a lot of new things. I'm going to try a lot of new things, and hopefully this serves, as I said, as a good place to consolidate it all and put it into a spot where even if you don't learn anything, you can perhaps feed off the enthusiasm and love for doing what I do that I'm going to try and put across in what I create. And so that's about it. There's a lot coming up, so thank you, and I'll see you next week for Fundamentalised 101, which will be sent to you from Bangkok, Thailand.